I'm just going to do a back stitch. To make the balloon string on our stitch along for National Embroidery Month 2020. So for the back stitch, if you've been following along, you'll know that you'll take your needle, try to make the spaces as even as possible. So between this stitch and the new stitch, you should have about the same space in between each. Bring your needle up, and then you'll take the needle point and put it right at the end of the last stitch of the previous stitch, and bring it down. And this will be the end stitch for the balloon. We'll move our little turkey stitch out of the way, and we'll tie this off. Now with the same embroidery floss, I'm going to make the little loops for the balloon up here. I'm not sure if you can see the little lines, but I have two little loops drawn on here. And you'll just continue with the back stitch. And I'm going to do a little bit of a chain stitch to finish this one up. I'm going to tie this off. use my fabric scissors to cut it this time instead of my paper scissors. I am also going to continue with the black embroidery floss, and I'm going to go ahead and outline this Easter egg that I have here. And I'm going to back stitch this Easter egg as well. So if you're watching the videos, you should know what the back stitch is and how to do that, because we covered that in several of these videos. It's pretty basic, and once you have the back stitch down, you can pretty much do the rest of the stitches. And you can make your Easter egg a shape any way you would like. Whatever works for you. And I'm just going to do a few satin stitches within the egg. I try not to waste my floss by going behind and up and over, because that wastes the entire length of the floss. So I just try to keep my satin stitches up front. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to tie this off. Let's see, what else should I work on? We need to do the bunny's tail, and I'm just going to use a light brown for that. In the month of March, I will be showing some different types of fabric you can use for hand embroidery. I think that would be fun to learn. That way you don't feel that you're stuck with just one type of fabric. So we will be working on that. I'm just trying to decide what stitch I want for the bunny, for his tail. I'm going to do a few of the Lazy Daisy stitches, I think, for him. Now we have to make sure that we anchor this down. And you come right at the tip underneath the loop and pull the needle back down. Bring it up. Take your needle right next to that hole, not in the hole, but next to it. Pull the needle up through the fabric. You should have a nice loop. Pull it down. Now anchor it. We're going to continue with the Lazy Daisy stitch for the bunny rabbit tail. I'm going to take it in a different diagonal, I think, to give it a little bit of a puffy dimension type of stitch. Oops. We need to remember to anchor that down. Down, make a loop, take our needles through it, anchor the loop down, now I'm going to go in a different diagonal, same thing, come up, I'm going to crisscross it, I think, over here as well, just to bring it in a little bit. Take it next to the hole, bring it back up, take your loop, anchor the loop. Okay, so that's my bunny's tail. I might change it later, but for now I'm going to leave it. I'm just tying this off. Okay, so let's see what I did with the last one. So that's a Lazy Daisy bunny tail. So I'm going to switch this one out and show you the second sampler. Very similar. I mean, it's the same drawing. It just has different stitches in different places. So we're going to do something different with this bunny tail. I'm going to keep the same color of the variegated embroidery floss here. Let's see. Here we go. Sorry, sometimes I hum. I don't mean to. If you find that distracting, I apologize. I should probably open the curtain, get a little bit of the sunlight in before I head out. Oh, that might be too much light. Let me put my curtain back. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna leave it. Anyways, we actually have some sunlight today. I think this is like day 2 or 3 now. Love it. And I am just going to take straight stitch and a long stitch in between here. If you can see the lines on this bunny's tail. I used a Sharpie marker to trace this. And the other one that I just was showing you, I actually used a pencil, which did not show, but very good for the camera. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Alright. So I just did a long and short stitch for the rabbit's tail this time. And I'm not sure. Let's try to fill it in. Maybe that will give it a little bit more pizzazz. I'm hoping that my notifications aren't showing up for you while I'm recording this. This is just a very let me start over. Hand embroidery is so relaxing. It's just a great way to express yourself artistically. There'll be times where I'm just sitting and sewing and not even talking. So if you watch any of my videos, you know I get very quiet. That's because I'm thinking. I'm in just deep thought. You know, I think about everything the Lord's blessed me with, and I think about life in general, and I think about the next project. Alright, so I am done with this rabbit's tail. Okay, well, not yet, almost. Alright, I like this rabbit's tail. better than the last one. And I'll re-show you that one in a second. Let me crisscross a couple of these stitches and see if it makes for a different picture. Sorry. Alright, so we're done with this rabbit's tail, and I hit the camera yet again. Here we go. Well, at least there's some good bloopers for you watching me hand stitch, because I have not edited any of those out. I do that on purpose because it shows you this is real. Everybody makes little bloopers here and there, right? Okay. So this is rabbit with long and straight stitches crisscrossed, and this is the rabbit tail with the lazy daisy. So I like this one better than this one. So we can always pull this out if we truly wanted to. At this point, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to keep moving on. Let's see, what else can I sew? I know that this needs to be done. I think black actually might go better with this one. Let me move my hand. And then we need to fill in some of these Easter eggs. I really wanted an Easter variegated, so I'm going to use that. I don't know the color number for this variegated because I've had this for quite some time. It's one of my favorite variegated embroidery flosses. After I'm done with this video, I'm going to go, I have to work out, and then I'm going to walk up the street to the store. That's one of the perks of moving to this bigger city. I guess it's the suburban or suburb, I guess. Suburb of the city, whatever. Anyways, there's plenty to do. There's plenty of places that actually have sidewalks that we can walk to. We, meaning my family and I. And that's one thing that's important for me, is to try to get fresh air every single day. And hopefully get out of my house every day. Alright. I am going to do different designs in this egg. Without pulling a stitch. Okay. From another egg. So I'm just doing a basic back stitch. If you sew, then you are very familiar with this stitch. I use this stitch in my memory bears and a variety of other things that I sew. So that is my phone. I'm going to have to answer that. Alright guys, so I'm going to end it here, and I will see you soon.